Hello everyone, today we are here to do an activity based upon polynomial. The aim of the activity is to draw the graph of quadratic equations and observe it. Material required to do this activity are graph sheet, pencil, scale, sketch pen for the visibility and eraser. So let's discuss some theory related to the polynomials. An algebraic expression in which the variable involved only non-negative integral power is called polynomial. Now let's discuss degree of polynomial. Highest power of the variable in a polynomial is known as degree of polynomial. Now let's classify the polynomials. First, on the basis of number of terms, in which first is known as monomial. A polynomial containing one non-zero term is called monomial, in which mono means one. For example, 5x, 7, u raised to the power 4 are all monomials. Now let's discuss binomial. A polynomial containing two non-zero terms is called binomial. Example, 5 plus 7x, y raised to the power 30 plus 1 are binomials. In binomial, bi means 2. Now let's discuss trinomial. A polynomial containing three non-zero terms is called trinomial, in which tri means 3. Just take an example. 8 plus 3x plus x square are trinomials. Now, classification on the basis of degree of variables, in which the first is known as constant polynomial. A polynomial containing only one constant term is called a constant polynomial. Now let's discuss linear polynomial. A polynomial of degree 1 is called a linear polynomial. Now discuss the third, quadratic polynomial. A polynomial of degree 2 is called quadratic polynomial. Now discuss the fourth, cubical polynomial. A polynomial of degree 3 is called cubical polynomial. Now let's discuss zeros of a polynomial. A real number k is said to be a zero of polynomial px. If pk is equal to 0, just take an example. Px is equal to 5x plus 7. If we put x is equal to minus 7 upon 5, then we get 0. Therefore, minus 7 by 5 is a zero of a polynomial px is equal to 5x plus 7. Now let's discuss geometrical meaning of the zeros of a quadratic polynomial. For any quadratic polynomial, ax square plus bx plus c, where a cannot be equal to 0, the graph of the corresponding equations y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c has one of the two shapes of parabola. If a is greater than 0, then the shape of y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c is like this. And if a is less than 0, then the shape of y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c is like this. Now let's start the activity. Normally the graph is of 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, but I have arranged a graph of 2.5 centimeter by 2.5 centimeter for the more clarity. Now just take an quadratic equation y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a cannot be equal to 0. There are 6 type of graphs. For the first graph which we are taking, graph first, we are taking as a is less than 0 and d is less than 0. Make sure our equation will satisfy this both condition. For that I have planned an equation which is y is equal to minus 4x square minus 2x minus 1. This is my equation which satisfy both the condition where a is less than 0 and d is less than 0. A is less than 0, it's very clear in this equation that a is minus 4 which is less than 0. Now let's check the value of d. So d is b square minus 4ac, where b is minus 2, whole square it, minus 4, our a is minus 4 and our c is minus 1. And when we solve this, we get 4 minus 16 and d is equal to minus 12, which is less than 0. So this equation satisfy for our graph number 1 where a is less than 0 and d is less than 0. To make the graph, first of all we have to draw the x-axis and y-axis, which is also known as abscissa and ordinate, and we put the different values of x to find the value of y. So after calculating the d, which is discriminant, which is equal to b square minus 4ac, and the value is d is equal to minus 12 which is less than 0 and a is minus 4, we have substitute some values. You can choose any values of x. For calculating the value of y, I have chosen first of all x is equal to 2 and I will get the value of y is equal to minus 1 by putting x in this equation. And similarly I have chosen some random values. You can choose any values for calculating the different values of x and y for making this graph. Now with the help of these values I will make the graph. X is equal to 2. In our graph, this is our horizontal axis which is x and negative part is x bar, and y axis which is positive which we taken as the y, and the negative y which have taken y bar. So substitute the values. X is equal to 2, so x is equal to 2 and y is equal to minus 21, so y is equal to minus 21. Approximately here I have to plot a dot where x is equal to 2 and y is equal to minus 21. Now we have to choose another value. X is equal to 0. On the origin the x is equal to 0 here, but y is equal to minus 1. So we have to choose the half of this box. So that is x is equal to 0 and y is equal to minus 1. 0, minus 1. Now we have to choose another value. X is equal to minus 2. So x is equal to minus 2 is here. X is equal to minus 2 and y is equal to minus 13. So y is equal to minus 13 is here. It's between 12 and 14, 13 and minus 2. And last value 1.5, x is equal to 1.5. It's in between 1 and 2, that is 1.5. And y is equal to minus 13. So y is equal to minus 13 is here. Y is equal to minus 13. That's in between 12 and 14. And 1.5, it's in between 1 and 2. 1.5 comma minus 13, and this value is minus 2 comma minus 13, which is our third value. Now you can see that all the values exist below the x-axis. So let's make the shape which we obtained by meeting these values. Let's note the observation of the graph first. Parabola open downwards because it's below the x-axis. Parabola intersects at the x-axis at no point. You can see that it's not cutting on the x-axis. It has no real roots and it has no zeros because it's not cutting the x-axis. So number of zeros are nil. Now we make another graph whose nature is reverse to the previous graph. So for that graph, the condition will be a is greater than 0 and d is less than 0. To satisfy this condition, we have y is equal to x square plus x plus 1, in which a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1 and c is equal to 1. So find the discriminant. The formula for finding the discriminant is d is equal to b square minus 4ac. Substitute the values of a, b and c. b is 1, a is 1, c is 1. So once we solve this value, we get 1 minus 4 and discriminant is equal to minus 3. So we can see that d is less than 0 because it's minus 3 and a is greater than 0 because it's a is equal to 1. Now we substitute the different values in this equation for the x and find the values for the y. So when we substitute the value of x is equal to 2 in this equation, we get y is equal to 7, and when we substitute the value of x is equal to 3 in this equation, then we get the value of y. By solving this equation, we got 13. Similarly, when we substitute the value of x is equal to minus 2, I am choosing random values. You can choose any values to draw the graph. You will get y is equal to 3. When we choose x is equal to minus 3 and substitute the values of x in this equation, then you will get y is equal to 7. And for the x is equal to minus 4, you will get the value of 13. To plot these values on the graph, now let's make x-axis and y-axis, or we can say abscissa and ordinates. So now I have made the graph in which the positive x-axis is known as x, the negative x-axis is known as x dash, positive y-axis is known as y, and negative y-axis is y dash. So let's plot these points on the graph. I have taken on the x-axis 1, 2, 3 and 4 on the both sides, and on the y-axis I have taken difference of 2 units. So x is equal to 2. So here is x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 7. So in between 6 and 8 there is a 7. That is 2, 7. Third, x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 13. So x on the x-axis there is a 3, and on the y-axis we need 13. So in between 12 and 14 there is a 13, and we get 3, 13. For the x-axis is equal to -2 and y-axis is equal to 3. For the x-axis -2, here is -2, and for the y-axis it's 3. It's in between 2 and 4. This is the point where -2, 3 and -3, 7. -3 on the x-axis and 7 on the y-axis. It's in between 6 and 8. So this is the point where these 2 points are intersect, that is -3, 7. At last, -4 on the x-axis and 13 on the y-axis. -4, 13. We have plot all the values in the graph. Now let's make the curve. Starting from this point, the observations are: parabola opens upward. You can see that it's upward. Parabola intersects the x-axis at no point, that it's not cutting the x-axis. That's our x-axis. It has no real roots, and number of zeros are nil because it's not cutting the x-axis. Now let's make another graph in which we will get at least 1 or 2 zeros. For that, the condition will be A is less than 0 and D is greater than 0. To satisfy this condition, we have an equation that y is equal to -x square minus 2x plus 2, in which a is equal to -1, b is equal to -2 and c is equal to +2. Now we find the discriminant, where d is equal to b square minus 4ac. Substitute the values of a, b and c in this formula. B is equal to -2, a is equal to -1 and c is equal to 2. When we solve all this equation, we get 4 plus 8 and discriminant is equal to 12, which is greater than 0 and a which is less than 0. So the discriminant and a satisfy this condition. Now we will put some values of x for finding the values of y to make the graph. Now let's draw the graph using these values where x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 2. Zero comma 2. Next value is where x is equal to 4, and y is equal to minus 22 plus 4 comma minus 22. Now let's draw minus 4 on the x-axis, and y is equal to minus 13. Minus 4 comma minus 13. Now the next value is minus 6 and minus 22. So on the x-axis it's minus 6 and on the y-axis it's minus 22. So on the x-axis it's minus 6 and on the y-axis it's minus 22. Which is minus 6 comma minus 22. Now let's make the graph. Observation for the third graph. Parabola open downwards. As you can see, it's downward. Parabola intersects the x-axis at 2 points. It's cutting the x-axis at 2 points. It has real and different roots. Number of zeros. It has two numbers of 0. One here and one here. So the remaining conditions are when a is less than 0 and d is equal to 0. For that condition, use this equation y is equal to minus 4x square plus 4x minus 1. By using this equation, you can make the graph very easily. For the next condition, when a is greater than 0 and d is equal to 0, then y is equal to x square minus 6x plus 9. With the help of this equation, you can easily make the graph. Last condition, when a is greater than 0 and d is also greater than 0. For this value, y is equal to x square minus 2x minus 9. With the help of this equation, you can easily make the graph. I hope this activity is clear to you regarding the polynomials. In this activity, you have learned how to calculate the zeros of the polynomial. It helps you to finding the nature of the roots. It helps you understand the geometrical representation of the quadratic polynomial. Thank you and have a nice day.